Good evening, Prime Minister. When will you admit that the Citizenship Saga is, in fact, a serious issue?
It's an extremely serious issue, Francis. I mean, to be a citizen of this great nation...
Great nation? Most middle-income earners can't even afford to pay their mortgage.
Absolutely.
Absolutely what?
The point is, if you're a citizen of Australia, you should have a blind sense of loyalty to a nation.
Pauline would be very happy to hear this.
Well...
Relax, Prime Minister. I was just joking.
Oh.
Is citizenship really that important?
Of course not.
Oh, really?
I mean, in terms of life and death, if you're in a car accident, the paramedic's not going to ask whether or not you're a citizen of Australia before they pull the old life support out, are they?
I'm not sure. You're telling the story.
Okay, let's pretend the paramedic doesn't care whether or not you're a citizen.
Well, is the paramedic a citizen?
I'm not sure. The point is the paramedic should not care whether or not the victim is in fact a citizen.
Is that right? So you're happy for a paramedic to walk away from a dying person because they're not an Australian citizen? Let's say I'm an Indigenous person and I was born overseas on a holiday. Am I an Australian citizen?
Absolutely not.
But I'm a direct descendant of the very first Australians.
Not if you decide to have a little getaway.
So you're saying Indigenous people can't have a holiday?
No. Yes, they can have a little holiday to Tasmania, and when they get back to Australia, they just fill out a little bit of paperwork.
But the original inhabitants were here well before any notion of citizenship, so why do they have to fill out any paperwork?
Oh, well, that's a question for the constitutional lawyers.
Well, are the constitutional lawyers citizens?
I'm not sure.
So the constitutional lawyers who may or may not be citizens determine whether or not a first Australian who was born overseas may or may not be in fact an Australian citizen.
I have absolutely no idea, Francis, but what I do know is that we are a relatively new country.
How old is this country, Prime Minister?
Oh, about 200 years or so.
200 years. Where exactly were you born, Prime Minister?
Well, that was a little while ago when I was fairly young at the time, so the details surrounding that particular event are not quite clear.
Prime Minister, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you.
Make sure you don't have an accident on the way home.
Whew.